No one was expecting this sale, and as people have been kind of slowly trying to digest the news, the conclusion they've been coming to is that the newspaper industry as a whole has been struggling with the disruption to their business caused by the internet. In essence, they've seen revenues from advertising sales decline. Those haven't been made up by smaller digital ad revenues. And the answer now, it seems, is that an innovator like Jeff Bezos might be the answer. At least that's the prayer from the family that sold this company.
And is it true that he paid for it out of his own pocket, that this has nothing to do with Amazon?
It does. They were very clear in all the press releases to state, look, this is Jeff Bezos as an individual, not as Amazon.com buying the Washington Post newspaper and the sort of other collection of newspapers that come along with it. Now, this is a man who ranks on the Forbes rich list as sort of amongst the 23rd richest people around the world. I think he's like the 12th richest person here in the United States. This will cost him about less than 1% of his net worth. So someone who has deep pockets, and of course he may need it because, as I mentioned, the company has been struggling, as have other newspapers, with this decline in advertising revenue, print advertising revenue. So the company is going to need time to try and come up with strategies. And what was interesting is that Jeff Bezos, in his statement, said, look, the values of the paper won't change, but you have to recognise that the internet has changed the way that the news business works.
Interesting. Do we have any time scale as to when he might make an announcement as to what he's going to do with this new acquisition?
No, and it does seem from the statement that it will be sort of a kind of sense of experimentation, that there will be change ahead. What that change might look like, it doesn't seem clear, at least from the statement he's issued so far. And also what was interesting was reading the letter, because this was a family-owned newspaper. The Graham family have owned it for several years. In fact, there was a glowing profile of the publisher of the newspaper over the weekend in the New York Times here, and they talked about the fact that, look, we wanted to sell because we continue to lose revenue. We need to try and come up with a solution. And now they've turned to essentially one of the innovators in the internet world to try and help them come up with that solution.